Hi and welcome. Welcome to the Destined for More online show. So excited to be here with you today, and I'm super excited for who we have to bring you our guest expert today. And before I get into her introduction, I just want to let you know that you're in the right space. Here on the Destined for More online show, I bring you a guest expert each week to help you really level up your life and business in a way that increases that impact that you want to make and also spreads that good throughout the world. If you're new to the show, my name is Wesley Reese. I'm a success coach, healer, and spiritual mentor for midlife women in business. And I love to bring you these conversations because we get to feature the guest experts geniuses in a way that adds value to you so that you go away feeling empowered, you go away with a sense of overall well-being and also prosperity in your life and business. Just those little nuggets that you can take away and add to and amplify what you're doing and the message that you want to get out into the world. And so here today, we have the lovely Dana Owens. And I am so excited for this conversation. I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about Dana, and then we're going to dive into the conversation. Dana Owens, she's a brilliant copywriter, copy strategist, and she is the mastermind behind Next Level Copy. After more than after more than 2 decades of writing copy in all of its many forms, Dana now specializes in her biggest copy passion, and that's case studies. She conducts really super juicy client interviews, and she writes from a story-based approach to really make that case study come to life. She creates this compelling, engaging, and highly effective tool that's used to really facilitate the closing of sales in your business. It's brilliant. And I can't wait to talk more about it. But not only that, she's a beautiful human. She believes that, um, you know, with being able, there's not a business on the planet that can't benefit from people sharing stories, people sharing clients' experiences through these stories. She is a business owner who, through her own learning, um, is just being able to articulate these stories in ways that creates a greater impact and adds value, and being able to feature other her clients' brilliance in the work that they do straight from their clients' mouths, and it's just a powerful way to share more value. But when Dana isn't writing, she's watching one of her daughters in the mini sporting events. She also has a rat terrier rescue named Oreo. Love it.
That you
Um,
may do.
but she's also an avid runner, and you may find her out hitting the road or a trail out for a run as well. So, welcome, Dana.
Thank
Welcome, and
you.
I'm excited for this conversation because I know for me personally, you were able to help me last year in the same way, and so I can't wait to share that also in our conversation.
Yeah.
But let's get started. Let's talk about how um, you have experienced it. Why is it that these case studies have become such a powerful tool for people to use in their businesses?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you, first of all, thank you for that awesome introduction. That was like so, I was like, oh my gosh, that was just so beautifully said. Thank you. But I'll just start first by telling you, as a copywriter, I have written so many different websites over the years. I've seen websites, written the copy for websites. And as the years went on, I started to see a pattern, especially 3 or 4 years ago when I really decided to hone niche into case studies. I kept seeing over and over again that when I would go to write someone's web copy or refresh their web copy, I really wanted to take a results-driven approach with their copy, because I know that results sell. We all know basically that results sell. And so what I was illuminated was that so many business owners were well equipped to talk about what they do, and they wanted me to write about what they do. But when I asked them, how can we really talk, give me some information so I can write about what you've done, like what are the results of your work? Over and over again, people did not have data, they did not have customer insights, they didn't have anything to give me that would allow me to do a results-driven approach with their copy. And so I started to think about how can we showcase someone's results? Like, how can we right off the bat on your website talk about how your work works? And so that's how I really became passionate in case studies, and then just decided to niche exclusively into case studies, because how I saw it, almost every single service-based business owner can really benefit from using them. And I just want to help everyone do exactly that. So let me just start off first, because one question that I get over and over again is people saying, do I really need case studies? Because I'm really good about getting testimonials. And so I've got a ton of those. So I'm pretty good, right? And I will never say that testimonials are bad. They're always awesome. Always collect them. Always use them when you can. But I want to really make a distinction between a testimonial and a case study, and why you really should be using both of them. So when you think about a testimonial, you see them on homepages, you see them in email sequences, you definitely see them on social media, and they're short. Like, they're really designed to be a soundbite of a conversation that you've had, or an email that you've gotten from someone giving you feedback. They're really meant to be like 3 sentences that in one punchy paragraph talks about your results or something really beneficial about you as a service provider. But just in their nature, they're short. And so they don't allow you to really get into all of the details of your work with someone and really tell the full story of that work. And that is what a case study does. So a case study is an in-depth story or an in-depth look into your client's experience with your work. Not just your client's results, but your client's experience. And so a case study gives you all of the space that you need. And it's really the only tool that you have that allows you that space, because you can't do it on your website. You want to be concise. You can't do it in your email sequences or your emails, because we all know that people have very limited attention spans most of the time, especially for email. You can't do it on social media because there's a character limit. And so your case studies are really the only place you have to tell the full story of your work with someone. And when I say full story, I mean the full range of pain points or challenges that a client was experiencing that led them to work with you. The approach that you take in particular to help your client see results, and then the full range of the results that you provide for someone. And that's not just the stats that you could give, or like, I helped someone generate, $10,000 extra dollars in revenue. Like, those are definitely results, but the full range also includes those intangible results, like the mindset shifts or the confident boosts or the enhanced relationships, all of those intangible things that also need to be shared with prospects too. That also helps to connect with them and close them too. So that's really the difference between a testimonial and a case study. And I say you need to have both. Definitely have testimonials in your social proof toolbox, but definitely have 1 or 2 case studies when someone says, oh, this testimonial is so intriguing, but how did you actually help that person do that? And then you can say, oh, well, I've got this case study that really outlines more clearly how. And so that's how the two work together, and why you definitely need both.
That's fantastic. And I love how you pointed out how the case study captures not just the intangibles, because there's so much that happens in a client coach relationship, or whatever the case may be, in that relationship of the work that's done together. that's really hard to put, a tangible result directly tied.
Yeah.
And so being able to express that intangible benefit is a powerful thing, especially when someone's really looking at to the full extent to understand what it is you actually do. And not just
Exactly.
that, like what you pointed out, like your process. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you can say, oh yeah, I use XYZ method, but what does it really mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does it really look like in your business, in your approach?
Yeah.
And that's what people need. They need something like testimonials are great to pique interest. But when someone's interest is piqued and they clearly see, okay, like you can generate results, then they want to know how and they want to dig deeper. So it's very rare that you have someone who's going to just jump to buy something on a testimonial alone, but it definitely leads them down the road where they're like, okay, I need to know more. Like I want to really dig in and I want to see if this is the right solution for me. And you need to have a tool that helps you do that. And a case study is so awesome because if you're doing it in a really compelling way, and like you mentioned, I take a story-based approach and a client-centric approach with my case studies. That gives them a way to get all of those details, not from you, the business owner, which is fine, but it's so much better for them to get all of those details through the perspective of one of your clients who used to be in shoes just like yours. So it allows you that peer-to-peer, conversational tool as a way to give them more information to help them make a sales decision. So anyway, I want to just share too, I really do believe that every single business, especially, I believe every single business, but I really focus on service-based businesses. And I really believe that every single service-based business can benefit from using case studies in their sales and marketing. And I just want to really tell you more about that and why I think that way and how it works. So when people are deciding whether or not they're going to buy something, and we all know these days, I mean, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you're selling, or what your problem is. There are 500, it feels like 500 solutions or options that you have, okay? And so in a buyer's mind, they're thinking, okay, this looks like a good solution, or I'm at least in the right market, like I'm in the right area to have my problem solved. But will this work for me? Their number one question is, will this work for me? And so a case study allows them that space, like I talked about, where the details are shared in depth, where they can really truly get to a good answer of, yes, I think this actually will work for me because I've gotten enough information. And so when a service-based business owner is using a case study in their sales and marketing, they are allowing their prospect to see themselves in their solution, which is what people need really to be able to make a confident yes. And because it's the full story of their work with someone, and it touches on the pain points, it talks about how they resonated with your service, it talks about the full range of results. What you're giving is all of these little potential touch points for people to connect with your work on an emotional level. And when someone connects and understands your work and how it can provide at an emotional level, they are so much more apt to remember you as a service provider because, let's be honest, they're probably looking at your service and then they're going over here to look at someone else's service and someone else. But if you have a case study that allows someone to connect with your work on an emotional level, they're way more apt to remember you, come back and check you out again, and then buy from you because they are convinced on an emotional level that they can have their needs met. But not only that, I mean, case study, like what people don't understand about case studies is that there are all of these hidden benefits that are baked inside of them. And if you're thinking of case studies as like these clinical, jargony, overly technical, documents, that is so not what it is. They are fresh, they are compelling, as long as you do them right and you do them from a story-based, customer-centric approach. But when you do that and you share them, it instantly builds your credibility and authority because your work works. And here's an example of it. Okay. It's not just you saying that your work works. It's someone else who has lended their name to, to your business and basically wants to tell their story for you. So that builds credibility and authority. It allows you to differentiate yourself in your market. Case studies are awesome differentiators. One, because so few people are using them. So that's number one. If you're in a crowded market, chances are there are not a lot of people using case studies. So just having them helps. But two, it gives you the space to talk about how you're different. Maybe you're different in your approach. Maybe you're different in the types of clients that you work with. Maybe you're different in the outcomes that your particular service over and over again has provided for people. So they allow you to differentiate yourself, which is huge. We talked about this. They give you that third-party validation that's peer-to-peer, not business owner to prospect, which is okay, but not nearly as good as peer-to-peer.
Right.
And then the last thing that they do that is so powerful is they allow you to, quote unquote, justify your price point. So this is especially important for people who have higher ticket packages or services. And there's always that, or not always, but a lot of times they'll butt up against that prospect's hesitancy about like, oh, I don't know if I should invest in this, or what's the ROI, or I don't know, like there's, problems with the price. And when you can meet someone's hesitancy about your price point with stories and examples of how people have benefited from your high ticket service, and you see all the value that has come from that service, that goes so far to help you overcome that price objection or that price worry. So they're awesome for that too. And then just one last thing. I mean, I could go on and on about the benefits. Like, I should write a book about this.
You should.
I will do that. No. But one thing it also does just for a business owner is it helps you as a business owner understand your client, understand your past customers, and be able to message to new people in a way that makes all of your messaging so much easier. So they're beneficial as far as client acquisition goes, but they're also beneficial for you as a business owner in just doing your marketing. So
absolutely. And I'll just say from my experience, having you craft a case study for one of my clients, it was really powerful in that, like you said, I just want to reiterate some of the benefits. It's kind of like that credibility, authority builder, so that you can be able to share with someone that is looking to you for a solution. But not just that, it's that piece where it's doing a lot of legwork for you that goes beyond what you may even think initially, because you have got a tool that you can pull those marketing verbatim. You can pull marketing copy from that and use that in a language that, because you're so close to what you do, you sometimes, like you said, it's that jargon, and you can actually pull your clients' words so that it can resonate in your message more. And then also, to reiterate another benefit that you said, to be able to, like the legwork, to be able to provide that to someone that's looking for your solution, if they've got that hesitancy of the investment, if you are a higher ticket, it really helps you stand apart from your competition if they are kind of shopping around to see, how you are different. So I love that you pointed out so many of just initial benefits of what it could mean for someone in their business, in the different ways that you can use the case study as a tool to really get that a significant ROI, just to be able to use that in your marketing. So thank you for sharing that. That really helps paint a really good picture. So there was one thing also that you said Oh, yes. About how and this is what I appreciate. Your approach is that story based, which we've touched on. But, when you tell a story, everyone puts themselves in the story, and that is the emotional piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it's really important for people to hear what you're saying here, is because that emotional piece is going to be the one that you're able to connect with that potential client in a way that if they're shopping around, that it can really help you create a deeper connection before you even start working with someone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's true. And even help you form a deeper connection before you even get on a discovery call with someone.
Yeah.
Like if you put your case studies at the right, there's a million different places that you could put them in your sales process. But like a great way to insert them is the minute that someone reaches out to you and say, hey, I saw your post on LinkedIn, like I'm interested in learning more about your service. You can say, oh, great. Here's obviously a link to my website, but I would love to share this case study with you. This will help you see, a common problem that my clients have, and this is how we solved it together. And so that person could check that out before even the discovery call and get onto the discovery call and already feel like they understand your service better, understand you better, what it's like to work with you. And it just leads to a much more deep and productive conversation where you're not sharing these like surface level details about your service or your business as a way to connect. You jump in one level deeper, and it's like you're connecting over results, and you jump into those challenges, and it just allows for a richer conversation all the way around.
Yeah. And, as you've probably seen yourself, just even in the last 2, 3, 4 years, just the buyer savviness,
Mm-hmm.
and just because of that, being able to have that way to show them that's not coming directly from you.
Yeah, well, to speak directly to that, I've had way more people reach out to me for my case study services and they say, I need to have some case studies created because I just had like a sales call this week and someone said, this sounds really great. Can you send me a couple case studies? And I don't have any to send. So I need to get some. Or they basically know that buyers are becoming so much more discerning, and that if they haven't gotten that question yet, like, hey, do you have any case studies that you could send over? That question is coming at some point on one of their sales calls. Someone is going to ask for that, and they, want to be able to have something to send and not say, or like they're saying, yeah, I'll send over some things for you, and then they get off the call and they're like, oh my gosh, what do I send? Like, we just send this giant wall of testimonials where basically half of them just say, Susie is very organized and always meets her deadlines. Like, those are great testimonials, but those don't speak to your results. That just basically speaks to how reliable you are. And let's be frank, everyone should be reliable. So that's not exactly the best things to share. You really need a deeper dive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to speak to that from, having you craft a case study for me last year. I just want everybody to know that's watching, Dana makes it so easy. And the reason for that is because she has a very, she has a direct conversation with your client. So she had a conversation with my client to really understand what her experience was like. And in crafting a case study, the reason I say that she makes it so easy is because it's not time intensive for your client to have that conversation with her. It's not time intensive for you as Dana's client having her put together this case study, because she grabs necessary elements that she knows needs to be in a case study. And with the conversation with you and the conversation with your client, she is able to put together a powerful story in a very purposeful, intentional, efficient way. And so I just want people to know here, it's not this lengthy, drawn out process. It can be done rather effectively and efficiently, and with Dana's help. But whether she does a case study for you, that's full-blown case study, or she also, and I want you to speak to this, she also has a tool if you're more on the DIY side or not ready for such an investment. She actually has developed a tool to help assist you in the process. So can you speak to that?
Yeah. So I basically I am doing my done for you services with people. I just, like any business owner realizes, you have all kinds of ranges of people that come to you with different budgets. And I believe so strongly that, like I said, a case study, every service-based business owner can and should be using case studies in their sales and marketing. And so I really wanted to create a way for people to get dip their toe in the case study water, to at least get started, even if they don't have the budget to hire a professional writer to do their case study for them. So I created a digital interactive workbook. And I did the workbook specifically instead of doing a video module course because I want people to implement. And I know that, I've purchased plenty of video courses, but I watch the videos and then I have a list of things to do, and then most of them never get done. And I just wanted to create something where you were learning and writing as you go. And so this workbook is for writers and non-writers. Like, you can literally be like, I cannot write a cohesive sentence to save my life. And you could literally follow this workbook and I teach you exactly what to do. And you're just typing into it as you go. And, but basically what it is I give you my whole process. I give you all my interview questions. I tell you exactly what to do. And then when you're ready to actually write your case study, which in this scenario is a one-page case study, I literally teach you step by step how to write each piece. And then at the end of the workbook, it spits out magically your one-page case study topic. You can copy and paste it into one of the 3 design templates that I provide, hit save, and boom, you can start sending this thing. So it's a complete soup to nuts do-it-yourself option if you're interested in starting to use case studies in your sales and marketing.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. And I would love if someone's interested in pursuing this next step for case study, whether it's the done for you or your digital option, how can they best reach you?
Yeah, you can. The best way to reach me is either on LinkedIn, and the handle and my LinkedIn is Next to Level Copy, all one word together. Or you can go to my website, which is nexttolevelcopy.com. And everything's on there. There's resources on there. You can, just in reading my website, you can learn so much about case studies, but all the information that you could ever hope to have is on there. And, just reach out on LinkedIn, send me a DM. I'm always open to answering questions. I love talking about case studies, and I'm always open to just having conversations with people about how to get started using them, how to tweak the ones they may have, how to fill the gaps in your sales process with them, make your marketing more sticky with them, all of that kind of stuff. I love talking about them.
Oh, love it. I love making your marketing more sticky. That's awesome. So, and I know Dana's been so gracious to provide a discount code for her digital workbook option. And so the links for all of those will be in the comments. If you want to learn more about that, you can click on that. And any last words that you would like to share, Dana, before we wrap today?
Obviously you've gotten the point that I believe everyone should be using these, but I want to give one takeaway for people who might have them, or might be hesitating at creating case studies because they don't really know how to use them. For both of those camps of people, one takeaway is, if you are noticing that people are falling off your sales process at a particular point, identify what that point is, and that is the perfect point to start to insert your case studies into. So whether that means that people reach out to you to get more information about your services and then you never hear from them again, or whether that means you're having a great sales call and you get off and you're like high-fiving yourself like, oh my gosh, that is totally going to turn into a client. I can just feel it. And then you never hear from them again. Though, like places like that are perfect places to insert case studies that will instantly close that gap for you and make it way more likely that those people are either going to continue the conversation with you or turn into clients. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that can be instantly helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that tip. Well, thank you for being here with us today. Appreciate this conversation and you bringing your genius to the world today. And I just, I love your passion behind case studies, and I can just speak from personal experience, the power of them to be able to use them in your sales and marketing process.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really encourage you, if you've thought about it before, or if this is a new concept to you, reach out to Dana and to see what that next step is, how you can take your marketing and really have that that case study story experience work for you and do a lot of the legwork that we're talking about. So thank you again, Dana, for being here. It's been a pleasure, and we will see everyone on the next episode. So take care.